هاي. الله يلعنكم يا داعي، استغفر الله، يدمركم ان شاء الله الى العالمين. انا عندي قضية الان، انا قاعد I am here outside the city outside. Of course I walked it. It's good to see some places here and there. Enjoy sometimes away from people. I'm just honestly wondering how people are ignoring some facts about the World Trade Centers on 11 September, the time of the attack. Today is 11 September, is it? Yeah. 20 years before now, there was a terrible, disgusting inside job incident. I'm talking about, and those who were involved in it are those who are concerned in the so-called Zionist movement. Those who did this are in this lobbies. There is lobbies in America. It is the so-called Israeli state, the so-called Goyin, Jewish non-Israeli state, but they are called Israeli state. They are all Goys. As I have explained, Goy or Goyim or Gentiles, this is a name at that specific period from Jacob until the Messiah, son of Virgin Mary, announcing himself. This time, everyone not Israeli is considered a Goy. Either he's worshipping the devil, or he's worshipping Allah, he's believing that the Israelites are favored for a certain rule, and everyone, and the Israelis are Israelis. Either they are at that time worshipping Allah or even dealing with the devil. At that time, it is the Yahudian faith. Tahweed al-Qudus now, making the city called Jerusalem Jewish, this is bringing the anger of God, and this is announcing Jerusalem as a cursed, the so-called Jerusalem, this is called Jerusalem city as a cursed city. Okay? Cursed. There is no retreat in this. No retreat. This is the fact, this is the truth. This is what Moses and Solomon and David and Jacob and Ibrahim and the Messiah, son of Virgin Mary, and definitely the final messenger Muhammad, will explain to you if they were sitting here with you, and all messengers, on the specific subject of the so-called Israeli state. On 11 September, the inside job, so many things happened before, like the maintenance happened through the years before the World Trade, the heavy maintenance. All workers knows about it. Something to do with doing things into the structure of the buildings. They say it's a yearly maintenance normal. No, it's not. No, it's not. There is a lot of evidence, there is a lot of... It doesn't make sense. It is not. It's not acceptable to believe that. This is one of the points, that to believe that a group in the caves of Afghanistan are behind this. No. Yes, you convinced them. You called Bin Laden in a certain scenario. We're gonna do something. Oh, Sheikh Bin Laden, we want this poet. Someone would say they would do it anyway if they can. Exactly. Even Japan. If Japan can whip the Chinese, they would do it. If the Chinese can control planet Earth, will do it. The United States of America leaders, if they can, they will do a lot of things. The so-called Israeli state, if they can make all the human, this is what is in their videos, those goys, Chacham, and others, the goys, the so-called Israeli, who are convincing the world that they are Israelite, and they don't understand what's the meaning of Judea. That's why they're bringing the anger. If they have the capability, they will make all other non-goy Jewish slaves to them. And the so-called Shiite will definitely, if they have power, they will do a lot of things. The so-called Hindus, the so-called Buddhists. But the case is, all of those people have no right to do what they are trying to do. But Al-Qaeda, they have the right to say, we want to liberate Jerusalem. We pushed the Soviet away, and there is something more important than Afghanistan, Jerusalem. this name, there's a big question mark about the name Jerusalem. Its name is Al-Quds. This is how it is right now, Al-Quds. Now Al-Quds, Al-Aqsa, Al-Quds, the Holy Land, must be liberated. Who's attacking from the first place? But definitely they contacted Bin Laden in their caves there, and they said, we're gonna do this to you. Who contacted the Bin Laden? The intelligence. The intelligence did this. And they convinced Bin Laden that we are one of you guys. We are loyal to you, Al-Qaeda. You are our prince, Amir. This is our names. Make this poet about us. Once you see the incredible scene that will happen in America. And he believed it. Because he's dealing with a disgusting criminal regime. The United States of America regime. This is not even the topic. We would understand. So many people would say that Afghanistan, you were created Afghanistan since the Soviet Union. But Iraq, this is the big question mark. He did a great job, Saddam Hussein, dealing with those Persian racists who are occupying Baluchistan and Khwazistan and Kurdistan. He did a great job. He did a great job to teach those Kuwaitis and Gulf states some lessons. Them and others right now deserve to be taught some lessons. Iraq border, he said, why not? I want Kuwait, because Kuwait is not working for the Arabic Ummah nation or the Islamic nation. Until now. It's a fact. This is fact. Look at Emirates right now. Kuwait, yes, Kuwait is doing a good job. In Kuwait they say we will be the last people who will accept tatbi', relation with the so-called Israeli Zionist Al-Kayan Al-Sahiyoni, the so-called Zionist state. We will be the last. But we need to do this because Saddam Hussein, we were behind destroying him. And we want to show that we are... I understand these things happening in the Kuwait. Because people will stop accusing Kuwait of doing the damage that happened to Iraq, to the Sunni Iraq. Iraq is Sunni since the beginning. Now intruders are ruling there. 11 September, we turned back, the inside job. A lot of maintenance happened. The security companies guarding this 2 World Trade Center, just check. There is a lot of relation with Israeli security companies. You did it. You fucking did it. This is how you say it in America, like that. You fucking did it. You did this. You did it. You went to Afghanistan. Why Iraq? The rockets to the so-called Israeli state. He did send these rockets at 1991. Since the beginning of the 20th century, 1910, 1920, how many Palestinians, natives, Palestinians in Middle East, and among them real native Israelites, have those intruders in the so-called Israeli state have killed? How many? Ashkenazis, and they brought the flash, and some of them are Druze Russians, some of them even, I am a British Jew. Italian, Greece, Marsilia, Euro-Indians, Indo-European, Gypsies. Nothing whatsoever to do with the Israeli race, nothing. They don't know who are the Israelis, they are just goy. Goys, lying goys. Don't be angry with your children. I saw something. Someone was angry how his children is looking, and he touched. I'm not serious about this. This is. He touched his child hand, and he just didn't like it that someone is saying he's a. You just don't want the truth. You just don't want the truth. How could it be? An Israelite will never find a suitable place to live in Europe. Can't. Starting from 3 centuries before Constantine, after Constantine, it is the terrible place. They are definitely the Israelites, like the Ishmaelites, and they are almost the community, especially the real Israelis. It's almost like Muslim. You will never find any Muslim minority at the 14th or 13th or 12th century. You can't. But because they are going, I have explained this, I have explained it. They were Romans, part of the Roman Empire, non-Israelis. Israelis used to be persecuted. Israelis used to live like Daesh. See Daesh? I'm serious. I am serious. I am not messing around. The Israelites, before the destruction of the Masjid al-Aqsa, you call it Solomon Temple, you call it House of Yahweh. The perfect name right now is Masjid al-Aqsa. It is the house of Allah. They become like Daesh, attacking the Romans and killing them, attacking, saying, fuck off, back off, leave our land alone. We are the real Israelis, not now some guy, no, he's guy, and he's entering the farm, and he's not asking the other different species of his European race or other guy from Africa, non-Jewish, asking them, no, you're not allowed to enter. This is only for Jew. You are Goy. No, you are Goy as well, even if you call yourself Jew. Since the beginning of time. They don't want by because the Zionist movement have made them powerful now. Yeah. Only want peace. 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 Keep cursing. I saw a lot of videos cursing. Someone is saying, he's cursing the Arabs and the Palestinians, say, let their memory be deleted. No, why? No, I want my memory, please. I want my memory. They said to him, the Arabs and the Muslims are distinguishing between the Jewish faith and the so-called Zionist movement. The Jewish faith and the so-called Zionist movement. You will see a lot of Muslims who are showing great respect to anti-Zionist movement. And you will see a lot of anti-Zionist Jewish movement who say, we got nothing to do with Zionism, and we had the guts of Zionism, the so-called, we had the guts of Nazism, and we had the guts of racial discrimination, and we are just waiting for the Messiah, and we want to live, pay our taxes, we're fine, we don't like any sorcery, and the magic. Listen, if there is bad things in the Talmud or Torah, also there is bad, there, except in Quran. Quran is good. Please, we are here, we are all human, we are part of the European. But this guy came, because he's all involved in the so-called Israeli state. He mean Hamas, and he mean other groups. So let their memory. No, the one I shouldn't. No one will forget about this. Our memory, inshallah, will be kept safe. Inshallah, will be kept safe. And one of them is from, they ask, Morocco. The other, Egyptian. Wallahi al-Azim, I'm swearing to you. The other, Turkey. So this guy came from Turkey. His ancestor, the Goy ancestor, are Turkish. It doesn't make sense. Turkish, who accepted Islam after a while, because it was part of the Roman Empire, Byzantines. And you look like a Turkish people, and the Muslim just treated them good. And the other guy is Egyptian, and he's angry. Egyptian, since the time of Bani Umayyah and until now, his ancestor lived in Egypt. They are fine, whatever. They are Goys, and there is some change in differences at the time of the Ottoman Khilafah. And some in Morocco. Since when? Since the time of Andalusia and Umayyah. Why your memory is deleted? How the Muslim have treated you? The Muslim treated you based on the instruction of Allah. It's not wrong. If it's in my hand. If it's in my hand. Wow. But it's not in our hand, because we believe in Him. In the creator of existence. Allahumma ameen. Allahumma ameen. Allahumma ameen. Mashing with the words and playing around and making, because this is a devil project. So they must do an inside job 11 September. Against whom? The people of Allah. The people of Yahweh. When we want to Yahweh, there is certainly Yahweh is a name of God. So godly. But there is essential understanding. And my English is not that perfect. The changing, replacement, instruction from God and inspiration through one race, because the law, it's not like Muhammad, 14th century, the same rules. the Messiah for 6 centuries announcement and rules and things, and Muhammad is the final messenger and one. It's not from Noah, for example, or it's changing. In Egypt there is a certain time of sacrifices, there's certain type of zakah, engagement, things, running away, all it's changing. They were flee to Sinai, then they went to Palestine. There is then the temple. Then is before they had no kings, then God gave them kings. At the beginning they used to be preachers, the Israelite. Before Solomon, just preacher. You have no king. Preaching in this area. This area, who is the king? The messenger. The messenger after messenger, and then they said we want a king. We want a king. We want a structure of a king. Why? Because other nations have kings. Ask, and God announced king. I don't want to go deep in this. That is a period that finished. What are you doing in Palestine? It's capitalism, imperialism. 11 September, the inside job. You did it. The one who killed Al-Qaeda. Who created Al-Qaeda from the first place? Who created it? People like Donald Trump, like the party of Donald Trump. Yes, Donald Trump have nothing to do with invading Iraq. If there was no invading to Iraq, you wouldn't dare to announce Jerusalem as the capital of the so-called Israeli state. They'll just wake up. You're all, yes, some people would say he's unifying them. I am unifying you to hellfire, to the tribulation, to the destruction. Either you like it or not. Who's the biggest enemy to the God word? Who? They always say this. It's Islam. Oh, what? The biggest enemy of the word God is those who call themselves Christian and those who call themselves Jews. The so-called this is facts. This is a very important point that explain how criminal some people are. Islam. God wants us. The Messiah came. You have nothing to do with him. Do you want to prove? Look at Europe right now. Look at Europe. Look at the Nazism. Look who is the biggest establisher of a Jewish capital in Middle East? Jerusalem. I mean, if you made London a Jewish capital, if you made New York a Jewish capital, if A'udhu Billah, that's why you understand why Muhammad is the final messenger, a declaration, this important area. If Pekin is a Jewish, if you have created a small city here and you call it like your houses, there is different laws as well in this. There, in your synagogue, it's a Jewish synagogue. Though you have nothing to do with the Israeli Jewish faith. You're just calling yourself a Jew and you're bringing the wrath of God. This is fact. Don't be angry with facts, dear Ashkenazis, so-called Zionists, Netanyahu, Goy. Don't be angry, Flasha, Goys, Africans. Don't be angry, please, from Russia, from Europe, please, Marsilians. Marsilia, Jerusalem. Marsilia, Al-Quds. Marsilia, Al-Quds. No, Quds, Marsilia. Quds, Jerusalem, Marsilia. Go back. You don't want, you will be eliminated. Either there is Islam on planet Earth, either there is no Islam. At the end, you ستسمعون الصريخ كغيركم. And the daughters and then the sons. You are bringing it. In Iraq, you're bringing the ban of Muslims in their honor, and their women, and their blood, and their children. In Syria as well. You're behind it. Do you see my support video in 2011 April? Do you see how they are innocent people in Syria saying we don't want Bashar al-Assad? Enough is enough. We don't want him. He's a dictatorship. He's torturing us. He's killing us in his jails. And he's raping us. Exactly. In 2011, it was like Saudi Arabia. Dictatorship and prostitution. Both. I remember in 2005. And they just came. Innocent people. And start killing them. What did Saddam Hussein? Saddam Hussein have a lot of ethnic groups. Saddam Hussein is different. I don't blame Saddam Hussein. I don't want to say this. كلموا بشار الأسد. When Saddam Hussein, poof, give your father Hafid a good slap in Baghdad. Who told me? Do you know who told me? slap قرين أبوك كف سكة بغاه قال شو قال؟ ولا لك أنا رئيس سوريا ولاق أنا رئيس سوريا ولاق على وجهه. الله يرحمك بعد. لأنه ما يستاهل يحكم سوريا. He shouldn't rule Syria. Saddam, he should. Now someone, for example, like this guy called Al-Maliki will say Tariq is saying this, so Kuwait is not as us. No, it's not yours. You shouldn't be there. You should return back to Sindh or Punjab or places like this. You're not even from the Belgium. His grandfathers entered at the time of Maliki, Sheikh Maliki. That's why they said we're Maliki, Maliki, Maliki Shafi'i, Shufa Maliki. And then they changed at the times. Tuqiyya. I don't want to mention this. So no, Kuwait belongs even before Saddam Hussein to the Ismailian territory in parts of Iraq. But after Sykes-Picot and after the agents in Gulf states, and you look at Saddam Hussein, wallahi, he's worth having Kuwait for him. Saddam, a leader like Saddam, who ruled from the beginning of the 80s, or the final years of 70s until 2003. I'm not talking about 2020 in the Ismailian territory with the circumstances of the Arabian Peninsula ruling what's called Saudi Arabia. You want to bring the same ways of... No, it doesn't work. Only one big authentic group, and there is non-Ismailians. What I say, explain your judgment at the end. Don't think that this is a harmless bastard piece of shit, just blah 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 blah. No, it's you. There is a calculation, and I have said it before and before. I'm complying with the video YouTube. See what's in the videos. Rules after rules after rules. You don't like it, be a good atheist. And fuck off. Fuck off. Leave us alone. You don't want this. Then if there is any type of reaction, you blame yourself. You fucking blame yourself. Not, a'udhu billah, don't blame your own God, Allah, the creator of existence. And don't blame his final messenger, Muhammad, who God sent him for a reason of ground of excuse and declaration to push back the devil. And so that at judgment day, you will not have any excuse if you are not from the good people. That's it. Either you are from the nation of Islam, the nation of Muhammad, or you are an infidel. If you're an infidel, I would deal with you with great respect. If you are a good infidel atheist, there is a paper on the table. I have my rights. If someone is calling himself an atheist and this is what's happening, this is what the devil wants, more atheists in the Arabian Peninsula, they need to respect our identity. I don't want a sick person. I am atheist Ismail and I like Buddhifying. No, you shouldn't be a Buddhifier, because it's wrong. There's a certain way of living. If you're an Ishmaelite, men or women, to protect our society and nation. And someone would say, this guy doesn't want to accept, and he's an enemy to everyone who is not a Muslim. You're so stupid. There is some Muslims who, if I have authority, based on the law, rapist and things, they deserve execution. He called himself Muslim. Well, there is a law to be implemented on you in the Arabian Peninsula. So there is a lot of people who call themselves Muslim, who are helping people like you if you are creating unjust. And anyway, I just want my right. 11 September was an inside job. That's it. The United States of America, some department in it, prepared for it. 11 September 1991, when George Bush Sr. said, it's a new world order. They want a new satanic world order, and they want Jerusalem to be the capital of the so-called Israel, and they want to bring the golden age of the devil on planet Earth, so that he would put the final steps and basics and stay within this stage to a terrible tribulation on planet Earth. The devil will enjoy, will be his perfect time. Perfect time. The Earth is moving around, the atom is moving around, the galaxy itself, the sun itself moving towards something, and you are just, I'm not going to use any word here, you are just working for the darkness. I want my right. It's a personal issue. I don't care. I don't care. I had showed the respect to the culture of mine, the rules and final messenger teaching, and I have did a lot of investment, and I lost it all. Why? Because of you. if someone have took advantage of my input, good input, before even in the Arabian Peninsula, and now he gave me his back, either he's a family member or not, I curse him like I curse any enemies of mine. It's an unjust, unfair. I remember myself when I gave the absolute perfect justification, and I said, we as Ishmaelians, starting from the monarchs before, want our fair share from this oil. And look what happened to me. I don't care. 11 September was an inside job. The so-called Shiite shouldn't be empowered this way. Damn, it's not even in Iraq, in the Arabian Peninsula. In the Arabian Peninsula, at the 70s, the 60s, I know about people who used to work in Aramco, and people who used to work in the military. And they said, we are surprised at the time of Shah. Why those who call themselves Shiite are complaining from though at the 70s and the 60s, at the beginning of Aramco, a lot of them were accepted and treated fair. Yes, the way of worshipping which start coming from Iran, it's not acceptable. If they start doing it here in England, they will stop them. They will definitely stop them. There is things that they do in Iraq. If they do it here, they will stop. You will stop them. And they want to do it in our areas of the Ishmaeli territories. See, I'm complying with the community guidelines. Again and again, it's my right. 11 September was an inside job. It's an inside job, I don't care. It's an inside job. You shouldn't go to Iraq. No, you shouldn't hang that man. You shouldn't. You should not kill Saddam Hussein. He's a good president. He's a good president. And what he did in Kuwait is a great job. And there is nothing. He shouldn't George Bush Jr., who looked like that New Zealand killer, shooter, who shot the people of the mosque. The church mosque, I don't know. In New Zealand. Look the same. So because the God is the same, the Antichrist. An Antichrist taghut. Different taghuts. No, nothing between. There's no comparison between Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Germany. Nothing, because he went to Kuwait. Damn you, damn you, damn you! You went to Kuwait, and in the interview, George Bush Jr. said that you remind him of Adolf Hitler. Who is the one who seems like Adolf Hitler? Who? Tell me, but in a different way. Who is a result of the Nazis? Adolf Hitler. Before the Nazis, there is Zionists. After the Nazis, there is Zionists. Who? It's you. You shouldn't insult us. It's a crusade. Of course it's a crusade. It has nothing to do with the Son of Virgin Mary. Of course you have these feelings. Of course, because there is a spirit of the devil on you. I understand you're possessed. You and others. I understand you're bad. You're bad people. It's not about, of course, in the white race there is a wonderful people, good people, nice people. This is different. But unfortunately this elite power have took place within Europe and developed itself now in America. 11 September is an inside job. I don't care. Saddam Hussein was a great president, nice president. Look what you did in Vietnam. I don't want to mention anything. I can give a 1 hour English and Arabic about Kurdistan. There is honestly some points here and there and there and there about Kurdistan. Who are the Kurds? Zardashaniya. What happened the time of Saddam? What's happening between them and them? I mentioned some small points here and there. I mean, I'm just telling you. Saddam Hussein was a good president. Look, they interfered at the time. Okay, the interference in Libya, it's a little bit acceptable. In Afghanistan, there is a little bit justification there, though you are the one who created that. In Iraq, terrible. It's absolutely a terrible crime. It is a crime in Syria. It's absolutely also a terrible crime to leave this regime to do all of this. And Donald Trump, what did he do? Golan, the Golan Heights. It's for the so-called Israeli state. And at the same time, I was against. Because Saddam Hussein killed the terrorist. Trump. We're dealing with stupid people. You have chosen them. Why you choose them? Why you choose these leaders? Because the nation itself is owned by the devil. That's it. This is a certain period, a certain time. I understand that there is good people. 11 September was an inside job. This video is to explain why they needed to create this. And there is something. 11 September, not 1991, because there is a Hebrew calendar. 11 September at 2001, based on the so-called Jewish. This is a new version of Jewish, starting from the name Yahweh and Yehudit, bringing the anger because it's all about the wild beast. Using this name, it's terrible. You can't use this name. It's finished. But they use it dealing with the devil. 11 September, the Israelites have nothing to do with this. There is Chashashish B'Chashush. There is a festival or celebration date just within 10 days. And if you're a real guy complying with the wild beast teaching, you wouldn't go to work at 11 September 2001. Which means you will find a vacation. It's like Eid al-Adha. It's like Eid al-Fitr. You will find a way, and it's all about businessmen, and they can not be there. Just don't be there. There is some, of course. The attack. Let's see what the curse can do. I am complying with the YouTube community guide, of course, in the hereafter and death. I am definitely complying with the YouTube community guide. Look at the other videos. I didn't insult anyone. Everyone. There is wonderful people from all groups and bad people from all groups, and I'm just explaining to you why 11 September there should be a big question mark, and there should be minds to understand that it's an inside job. That's it. This is the century of the devil. Monarchs, يقول لك الدولة السعودية الأولى. There was no Saudi first government. Second Saudi government. There is none. It was all the Ismailian. There is no borders. There is no what do you call it? لها اسم نسيتها in English. Immigration, borders, or whatever. It was the Ismailian territory, and these people were in Diriyah and Gulf States like sheikhs. Diriyah, nothing. They were nothing. الدولة السعودية الأولى. الدولة السعودية عبد الله الإمام. وبنفس الوقت يدمرون الشيوخ الآخرين. And at the same time they destroy the history of the real monarchs, the real sheikhs. They put Saud. And in Emirates, Maktoum, Hayyan, Al Said. Al Said is different in a way or another, but still, when we go to these families, there is other Far or غيره, but يعني because it's the century of the devil. I don't care. I care. But I am here not representing Muhammad, the final messenger, or Islam. It's a personal case with an alignment of understanding the Middle Eastern native Berber rights, and with an alignment of understanding the teaching of God, Allah, and who sent Muhammad as a final messenger. I think I'm gonna walk right now. It's good to stay alone in this place. No one is there. See? I'll show you some places. Come on, let's go. Now let's start visiting England. England is a good place. Of course, there is better places all over, but England, there is some good places here. Let me show you. La 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 la. La 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 la. What is this? La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La la la. La 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 la. do, do not delete this video. I'm alone, I'm not talking to anyone.